currently in Kashgar, Xinjiang, and in front of me, right here, is a very dark piece of Xinjiang history. And it was all caused by me. Well, not me, but by the Brits. So we're gonna check out this building. Hopefully we can go inside. I don't know if we can. Let's have a look. Oh, we're in a dead end. How am I gonna find this? 这是那个英国领事馆吗？啊，可以进去吗？不知道吗？哦，我。
后面这个是，你只要上去往前面。
但是之前这是英国的吗？
啊，对对。
哇。Okay, so he told me to go behind it, and we can find the entrance. I don't know if we can go inside. Might be a waste of a video, this. You can see in very faint writing, I can hardly read this. In 1908, the British travelled to Kashgar and they opened up this, consulate. You see, the former site of the British consulate. And it's this building. Oh no, you're kidding me. Hey, 你好，请问一下能不能看一下吗？可以进去？
在施工呢。
哦，能不能就是看一下嘛？就是因为我是英国人，我来新疆，因为这是那个英国的领事馆，对吧？我特别想来这里，可以拍个照吗？
最好别进去，反正里边别砸着你了。
啊，谢谢你，谢谢。哇，所以这是那个英国领事馆对吧？就这样。哇，可以可以。不错啊 ，Can you imagine? I'm so lucky, right? I thought I was going to get locked out. Beautiful. So once upon a time, the Brits would be. Oh, you can see, look, the photos as well. Look, fantastic. They look very British, don't they? With the moustache and everything. I don't know the guys' names. Maybe this is the garden that they were in. It looks like they're all renovating it into something else now. It looks so British. Hey, Yakshimul. Yakshimul. It feels like some British palace. Whoa, it's so weird to see this in Xinjiang. Check this out. Beautiful. Maybe my family, my ancestors were once here. Who knows? It's a beautiful view. You can see how they would have lived in luxury, the Brits, in this kind of palace, it's almost like. And then you got the locals all living in these kind of houses. Very different architecture, different style. It shows how diverse Xinjiang is. It's next to so many other countries. Basically, imagine walking down the street, you'd hear so many different languages. Especially in Xinjiang, you have different minorities, like the Kazakhs as well, the Mongolians. Just amazed by it all. So Xinjiang has always been such a diverse place. It's crazy like how it's all still intact. Maybe, I don't know what they're doing. Are they gonna get rid of all of this? I hope not. It's a nice bit of history and culture. I might be like the last guy to come here. Who knows? I don't know what they're doing, but you can see it's a little bit of a mess. Yeah, maybe they're just renovating it. I don't know. Nice of them to keep it, right? Because this is the last remaining building of the consulate. Hey, Yakshimul. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, like British chandelier. Maybe, just maybe they imported this all the way from the UK to over here, because it just looks like it is from the UK. You have a British bathroom, British toilet, not a Chinese one, a squat one. Right, even like the staircase. It looks like it's in my home in the UK. I can see this as well. This would have been like the fireplace, I think, right? So they'd have a nice fire here. I've never seen this in China before. No doubt about it, this is British. Victorian style almost. Gorgeous. 不好意思，麻烦你，就是看一下，因为我是英国人，他就是那个英国的领事馆对吧？所以我想看一下，拍个照。对不起，这是可以吗？
我们现在是在这边工作，然后外人可能是不让进。
哦，理解啊，不好意思，可以看一下，然后我要走吗？就是在外面，然后1分钟可以吗？对不起，I just want a quick look outside. Wow, here we go. We've got the beers there. I'm sure a few Brits would have had a few beers out here with a beautiful view. Such a contrast, isn't it? You've got this beautiful kind of palace and it'll be overlooking. This is where all the citizens will be living. Fantastic, isn't it? Oh, we've got to go up here, don't we? We've got to go up here. Have a view of... Oh, it looks so dangerous, but literally, I don't know about that. Got to be done though, right? Got to be done. Oh, wow, look at this, guys. Absolutely amazing. You can see the whole of Kashgar from the British consulate. You can see why they've chosen this area. Beautiful, isn't it? Basically, that's the chimney, right? So they would have, each morning, they would have cast the British flag for the whole of Xinjiang to see. Oh, stunning, you can see. All of it. I wonder how much it has changed. Actually, a lot of these buildings, they do look very old. It is like stepping back in time. Like, you know, the architecture, this kind of clay, soil, mud mixture. That's like the architecture that they have here. You can see it's still intact, maybe from 100 years ago. Of course, they've tried to modernize some of the buildings, tried to grow it as more people have come. You've got some nice modern apartments over there, but overall it does feel you're back in time. And like this very step, who knows, maybe my granddad was here one time, I don't know, maybe my great-great-granddad. And you can see a little bit of British culture over there, some kids playing football, and football super popular in Xinjiang, by the way. You know, the best football players in China, they come from Kashgar. You see them playing on the streets everywhere. And actually, on this street, they had the Russian consulate, but the Russians and the Brits, they were both together. And that's where the dark history comes in. That is where a lot of spying went on. So the Brits, of course, back in that time, we were trying to colonize everywhere. I imagine the same was for Kashgar, right? Because we colonized India, right? We had British India, and it's on the border of Kashgar. So we kind of wanted to protect that. And with the Russians kind of coming in, them trying to take over Xinjiang, which failed, the Brits were very careful of this. They didn't want them to leak into India. So it was a interesting kind of Cold War, I suppose, between the Brits and the Russians on this street. And this was all going on back in the 1800s, before communism. This was in the Qing dynasty, right? And it was a little bit messy. There's some internal conflicts. You know, people were trying to gain control and power internally of Xinjiang. And so there's this guy from Uzbekistan. He wanted to take advantage of that internal conflict. His name was Yakub Beg, and he's a kind of bad guy in China, right? So he comes over, he's trying to gain control of this place, and the Brits and the Russians, they both were trying to support him. They were trying to bribe him. Queen Victoria literally gave money and weapons to this guy to get control of this place, because they thought, all right, if we'll give him money, maybe they'll help us. Didn't quite work out. His reign here was very short-lived. That's why you had the Brits and the Russians. They tried to find a vulnerability. They tried to find a weak point in time in Xinjiang to come here and unsettle the place. So there would have been a lot of tensions. It would have been a very strange atmosphere, I imagine, you know, with them being so close to each other, spying on each other. So embarrassingly, there's not a corner of the world where the Brits didn't try to invade, and you know, Xinjiang is no exception. The Brits tried to do that, and it was like a fight against the Russians, trying to see who would get there, who would be strongest, but both ultimately failed. And you know, the Brits, they even sent their military here. They sent troops walking down the street, all right? And they even took the best students, the best Uyghur students, and took them to British India. So a lot of the Uyghurs, they hated the Brits, they hated the Russians. They didn't want them to come over here. They wanted to be part of China. It was very, very messy. And here we go. I have found it. The Russian consulate. The previous Russian consulate in 1890. So I think that was just before the Brits. I think the Brits was like early 1900s. Now, it looks like it's turned into a cafe. But it's closed today, which is a shame. But let's have a look inside. Can you see anything Russian in there? Not really. It looks very modern. Oh, wait. There's like a garden in the back. Really annoying, I can't get inside. See if we can go around the back, shall we? It's in the same district as the British one. Not far away. Like a few minutes walk. And you're here. Very interesting. Different style architecture, isn't it? To the British one. It would have been, what, in the 1890s, before the Soviets. So like Tsarist Russia. It looks like everything is closed. There's a few cameras. This is like a deserted part of Kashgar. There's not really much around here. But you can imagine it would have been full of life 100 years ago, right? Lots of foreigners being here. Not just the Russians, not just the Brits, but I'm sure many others. I mean, maybe the Americans were here too at some point. But you can see all of these buildings totally shut. It's like, I think even the cafe, it's not been open for a little while. Yeah, this one fenced off, barbed wire. It's a shame, because I reckon that garden must be so nice. Oh, well, at least I've got to go in the British one. But I'm just thinking, right, like how the tension would be around here 100 years ago. But for me, I don't know about you guys, but this is a really fascinating place. I like doing urban traveling. You know, I like doing the the countryside, the rural parts, the natural style. There's a lot of that in Xinjiang, but I really love the architecture. I really love learning about the history, and you get a lot of that here in Kashgar. I've got to come here more. It's like a couple hours flight because Xinjiang is huge, but I'm going to have to come here much more because I really love this city. And I hope you guys do as well. Anyway, I think that's the end of that then. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.